Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say Gosso, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess, such a beauty, I'm impressed. And I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breeze at night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing thigh. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look. Beautiful. I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl. Psych.
Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing
heart I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios on the road. I am mobile. I am outside. We are outside. Awanita Italawa. Welcome. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications as you are coming in. Thank you. Shout out to all my sponsors: More Fresh, Life with Natu, Adesua, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Gores Corner, D-Law 3000, Yes, TV, Chidema. I can still call them. So we're working. Welcome back. You can sponsor any show for as low as 99 cents. And you can download the books absolutely for free at manofprestige.com. You can download this book. And also, I am a relationship and marriage coach. So if you want help, you can reach us at that same page, or you can send us an email at ask@manofprestige.com. Also, you can join our backstage conversations at whatsapp.manofprestige.com. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Shout out to Sparkle Berry from Australia. Shout out to Chidima. Welcome, Chidima. Shout out to Babes Wind. Welcome. Natu, my G. Gracious Greatness. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. All right. So we have to continue this big conversation. Is the silent treatment emotional abuse? Right? Is the silent treatment emotional abuse? Right? This is the hard truth. This live stream is going to be a third of, I don't know how many part series. We'll finish the conversation when we finish. Right? But is it emotional abuse? Invisible, right? Like that thumbnail. Well, Yvonne Jagade started this conversation. So welcome, Sesamo. Good to see you. She started this conversation. So we have her on the thumbnail today. Again, we want to learn, catch, cruise, chill, relax. No big deal. It's a big deal at the same time. Okay? It's not that deep. All right? We're just catching cruise.
You doing what?
No. We're not joking around, but we just have fun learning what we need to learn. Okay? All right. Let me see. All right. Good. So without any further ado, we're just going to jump right in and start going through some of the reaction, continuing exactly from where we started yesterday. I'll be right back.
We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.
All right, welcome back. All right, so before we dive right in, no, you know what? Let's dive right in first, and then we'll take some time. I have about 10 different emotions, okay, that silent treatment makes the victim feels. Silent treatment, stonewalling, malice keeping. The way we defined it yesterday is very simple. All right, as a form of withdrawal, as a form of how do I say it? I had the definition, but I'll see if we can put it up again. But the idea is you're not talking to your spouse for more than 24 hours, okay? And then you're getting more and more comfortable in that funk. It's funky. It doesn't feel good, all right? So the emotions, there are 10 different emotions that it makes you. So I'll give you that later on, but let's just dive right into the reaction we've been doing. Shout out to Auntie B for allowing me to react to this video. Let's get going.
Is that a man or a woman?
All right, let's pay some bills. Let's pay some
your
bills.
ideal way of working. What would it look like? Monday.com can make it your reality. With Monday.com, every business.
They'll come and beg you.
Yes, 10 different emotions, brother. 10 different emotions. So just in the spirit, all you want to do is escape from a not so easy conversation. You're tired, you don't like confrontation, you don't want to deal, right? You rather, or you just spent a little bit of time off, but then you find out that it gets in a little bit more awkward. You don't want rejection. You don't want to approach the conversation again because last time you tried that, you got a version of rejection that didn't feel right. So it gets funky, and it just continue to go in that direction. And some people can spend weeks. Some people can spend months. We saw somebody on Auntie B's platform gave a comment, said she was in a silent treatment situation for 3 years before she decided to go and file the divorce. Silent treatment can come in different versions. Some people, they're still talking only when it comes to the kids or when it comes to necessary things, but they're no longer your friend. They shut down. You know the difference between when they shut down and what it used to be. And there's quite a lot of, there's a wide space between the two experience. All right. And yes, it's intentional, it's a choice, but it's also stemming from a place of, that they don't want to talk. Okay. It's a coping mechanism. Does that make sense? All right. So there's a comment on the screen. This is what we left yesterday. Somebody said, Oladipo, I disagree. Keeping malice no be abuse. After all, it is okay. So we kind of like dismiss this one. Let's keep going.
Malice or silent treatment, as you call it. Please
They'll
help. What's the benefits?
Sorry, can you guys hear it? If you can hear it, let me know. I'll keep going.
Chocolate after the human beg you.
Welcome, Bhagavad.
After how many? After you suffer for how long?
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
After you suffer for how long? That lot of people say, "Obodo, you disagree. Keeping malice no be abuse. After all, it is not an arrestable offense. It's the best way to resolve an issue." Oladipo Fashakin. Is that a man or a woman? I don't know whether it's
Oladipo is a man's name.
Sounds like a man's name. Thank you, Chidima.
I don't know if it's his first name, then it's a man's name.
It's the best way of resolving an issue. Okay, is that what you think? How do you
Conflict Resolution Pro Max.
Please tell us. I don't know how
arrestable
silent treatment is resolving issues. These are all the things that we need to all learn. You are a man, you are keeping malice. Come on now. Come on.
Could make sense.
Even
now.
From women is bad enough. How can a man be keeping malice? It is petty. It is very, very petty. It's below the belt. You keep malice. You say it's the best way to resolve. What kind of a woman are you married to if you are married? What kind of girlfriend do you have? What kind of learning do you have? What kind of household did you grow up?
And if I can say something, the big idea behind malice, the tactics why people employ malice is for control, right? So there's, and I know it all falls under the same umbrella, but timeout, shutdown, malice, silent treatment, they are all the same, but there's a progression to it.
Okay, that's the point. There's a progression to it. That's a good point. That's what I was trying to say. It usually starts with a little timeout, which is fine. Withdrawal from a toxic conversation. It's not getting anywhere. It's a loop. My point is, you're just arguing and it's not getting anywhere. You say, time out, time out. Some people will say time out. What they mean is that you should shut up so they can talk. That's not the time out we're talking about. You ever heard somebody say time out when you're arguing with them? Time out! They literally try to get you to shut up so they can get their point across. And you might do it with your friends, among your peers, but doing it with your spouse, it has a different weight, And to you, it might not be a big deal. Hey, it's just an argument. Why are you butthurt? I know. I hear you. I feel your pain. Because that's painful, right? They don't see it that way. All right? They can't stand it. They're taking an offense. Let's keep going.
So if you just maybe if you are the type of person that maybe gets violence, that throws stuff, you can work out and come back because you don't know how to communicate and calm down in the heat of the moment. But malice, when you're in the same house, intentionally not communicating with the person that you are in a relationship with, or whoever it is, and especially when you now have kids, you just abandon the person. You don't, especially when then what happens in malice is that you don't talk to them, you don't eat their food. Usually, you also not sexual with them, like you don't do carry well. So it transfers. It transfers. So that's abuse.
Yeah.
That's abuse. Sure.
Well, she says that's abuse, right? That's how she feels. You guys think silent treatment is emotional abuse? Can we get a consensus here? Let me see. Graciousness says the emotionalism of a thing can be quite awkward. Maybe I gotta study this area a bit more. Yes, we can hear the playback video. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. It's awkward, and some people just don't know. I'll tell you like that. Majority of human beings don't know how to communicate. Okay, it's something you have to learn. It's a learned skill. It's a skill. A lot of people think it's a natural thing just because they know how to talk. It's a skill set that you have to learn. Okay. Chidima says conflict resolution in the bottle. Absolutely. Chidima says feminine beta male behavior. Wahala. Grace, keeping malice for a prolonged period of time can be problematic, shows immaturity, in my honest opinion. It is immaturity. That's what exactly it is. But it's more so for the context of the Prestige family is lack of skills. You just don't know what you're doing. You need to learn how to behave in a romantic relationship, especially. D-Love, salute, welcome. And we have our special guest here today. Boom Boom is here today. Boom Boom, not Jum Jum. Boom Boom is here today. Yes, Boomy, we have been reacting to your voice since yesterday. Welcome. We promise. I promise. We didn't drag you that much. It wasn't bad. Just small. No, it wasn't bad. I promise. Okay, I promise. Hopefully, you've seen the last episode. Yes, it's your voice though. It's done without context or to escape accountability is abuse. Yes, I have to agree with that. That without context part, what do you mean by that? I agree with the to escape accountability is abuse. Yes, I agree with that. All right, but let's keep going. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let me go ahead. I'm gonna drop. Don't join yet. Let's have the conversation up to the top of the hour. But I think I should probably go ahead and drop the link right now, so I can pin it to the top. All right. So at the top of the hour, feel free to come into the studio. But let's react a little bit, and then we'll take it from there. So the link is now pinned to the top. And shout out to all 89% of people that hit the like button. I appreciate you. Let me see how many likes we have in there. We are 13 here. Okay, we're missing 6. So if you can go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's get going.
That is different. Like, okay, maybe I don't want to talk now, but I'll talk later in the day. That's different.
Yeah.
But malice,
if you're saying, like what you're saying, Bumi, your own is only for a few hours, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about 1 week, 1 month.
No.
I've heard women say that their husbands can keep malice for 6 months.
No. Because in that 6 months, the husband, what's he doing? If he's not eating your food, if he's not touching you, where is he getting it from?
Okay, what I don't understand is that how can you sleep on the same bed and you are keeping malice? You're not talking to each other. Oh, it's so bad that some men extend it to the children when they are keeping silent treatment. They won't talk.
Go and meet your mother.
Go and meet your mother. Then the other side of how can you sleep in the same bed? Some will extend it to sleeping in the other room. Not the other room, not Buhari's other room. As in like the other room, the guest room, right? Some will sleep in their children's bed. Some will sleep in the couch, okay? And as you can see, somebody commented on TV show the other day, some will actually go and sleep in the hotel. I know, right? Listen, we're not going to get into what he was doing at the hotel. But like some people, this goes far for a lot of people, which is why it should not be entertained at any level at all, right? The idea of a timeout, which Bumi, I think it was Bumi that suggested earlier, the idea of a timeout means it's temporary and you're aware, you're intentional. I'm heated. I don't want confrontation. I don't want to. This is too much. I need some time, right? You're aware, you're intentional. That's temporary. You just need to cool down because you can't even receive what the person is saying. You can't get your point across. That's okay, right? But the idea of that is temporary. But when you start sleeping in the couch because you're upset, then you might say it's just for this night. Okay, but the reality is that emotions is at play. Some people don't know when to stop. Okay, or you might become fearful of coming back and just saying, I'm sorry for what happened yesterday. I would like to have the conversation, right? That is, as much as we like to claim, we act like that's something that people can just snap their finger and do. That's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to do. What do you say? They're childish? Yeah, welcome to the real world. A lot of adults are childish instead of marriage. Okay? Yeah, stop the cap. Don't act like you haven't acted like a child inside of marriage before. Let's keep going.
It's emotional abuse.
That's emotional
You're an
abuse.
abusive person if you keep malice with your spouse for even 1 week. That's abuse. Whether you agree with it or not, it is what it is. It's psychological abuse and it is manipulation. If you keep malice with me, I pack my bag and I'm out.
Lobaton, she said she'll be out. And we have her here. She's here with us. Auntie B. Shewakpa, how you there? Auntie B, if you want to call in now. I know you might want to go and sleep. If you want to call in right now, feel free to use the link pinned to the top. Everybody else, especially if in the Yankee, wait until the top of the hour. Silent treatment is an expensive lifestyle. It will cost you. Yes, you'll pay for it. There's nobody escape. Nobody is perpetuating silent treatment and won't have to pay for it because you're tampering with trust, right? So even when you're ready and you land, the other person is not a firewood. You're tampering with trust. They have to kind of like get to know you. Yeah, like, you know. Ego, all of it. Ego is a big deal. Childish is my middle name sometimes. Auntie B.
Hello.
Epele. Shewakpa.
Oh, wow.
How are you? How was your day?
Was alright. Was alright.
Okay. We just started though. We're about 22 minutes in. We're reacting
I'm hearing my voice where I said I'll pack my bag.
You said you'll be out. My wife said the same thing. Lola said the same thing. Yeah.
No, I can't take it. No, I can't.
Yeah, she can't. She can't. We even had the conversation at length today, and she was like, she does shut down. I said does. We barely ever argue, but when we used to argue a lot, she would shut down, and then I would want to have the conversation, and then I had to learn to allow her to go and sleep over it, you know. And oftentimes we will brush issues under the rug, maybe a little bit of makeup, kerewa, and then the thing will come back up later on, you know. That's basically how we started, and eventually we tried to have conversation, but it wasn't an easy thing for her to have tough conversations. So that was her way of escaping it. But there was I noticed at that time that there was some awkwardness to trying to approach the conversation again. So it caused resentment on both sides, you know, because there are issues that were not addressed for a long time, you know. Some people say Scorpios know how to do that, but I can compartmentalize issues. I can just, like, if it's not a do or die or life or death situation, just leave it alone.
Leave it on the side.
Yeah. But it's a big deal. It stays there and then it comes back up later on, one way or the other.
It festers if it's not resolved. Yeah. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. So when I was asking her, because I was trying to use that to say she's a silent treatment person, but she's actually not. That's a temporary thing for her. Right? So coming back to it creates awkwardness. It's not like you intentionally wait till third day, fourth day. It gets thick and awkward to come back to certain conversations, and then life happens, and then, you know, some people is extremely toxic. So we had a certain level of friendship that will probably make it hard for her to stay in the same house and we're not talking. At least we'll be friends. At least we have gists and all these other things that kind of like make us deal with things slowly, but still not a very matured way of doing things, you know, as opposed to intentionally say, hey babe, this is that conversation. I know I heard what you said clearly. This is what you're trying to say. Yeah, of course. So once you get a person to say exactly, right, and now you can now offer your perspective, they are in a better place. So all of that is a skill set. It's not something that people fall out of the skies to learn, you know. So when I was asking her, she said she will run, that there's no way that let's say I now shut down, because she shut down, right? And now everybody's stonewalling each other, which is what some people do. Some people stay on one end of the house and the other end of the house, and they're avoiding each other around the house unless it's compulsory. Maybe it has to do with the kids. She says she wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
She said she would start to wonder, like, just like what's going on, what's, you know. Yeah. So yeah, let me hear your thoughts though before I let you go and sleep.
No, I'm not sleeping. Continue. I'm listening.
Okay. Let's continue the reaction.
Continue the video. Yeah, the reaction. Right. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
I can't do it. I just can't because I don't have the grace for it.
Yeah.
Nina said, Auntie B, it only helps me calm down when I'm having the conversation. I would have gathered my thoughts better. I know it's not the best way, but I'm being honest. Yeah, I like your honesty, Nina. But what I'm saying is that you got to work on it, okay? Exactly. You don't need 1 week to gather your thoughts. I understand that sometimes when you're having an argument, you can step away from it so that it doesn't escalate, yeah? I completely understand that. That is good, okay? Step out of it and give space. But it doesn't have to be 24 hours. It doesn't have to be 1 week. It doesn't have to be 1 month.
Exactly. So what we said yesterday is that the 24 hours is not written in hard stone. It's just something that most of us can agree with. Like once it's going past 24 hours, it's becoming something else. You know, don't wait that long. The same night, ideally, discuss before you go to bed. But we know some people, they can't. It's too much for them to have a tough conversation like that. It's okay to let them go to bed, right? But 24 hours, you should address whatever the issue is, you know. I'm looking at that comment, say if only helps calm down and when, okay, that's fine. You already answered that. Sesmore here says, what if the mistake is a gift that keeps giving, e.g. infidelity that has led to pregnancy or an infection? Auntie B, you want to speak to that?
Hey, whoa. Infidelity, infection, led to what again? I can't see.
Led to pregnancy and infection.
Jesus Christi. Yeah, like that's deep. So we're not just talking about silent treatment or malice. These are other issues.
That's a different topic.
That's deeper. That's deeper. I mean, when it comes to infidelity, especially when another human being is involved, where a baby has been made and somebody is bringing home infection, I don't know, but like I said, people have different women have, I don't know, is it a man or a woman that asks? Is Nina is a woman?
Sesmore, I think that's a woman, yeah. I think she's a woman. Yeah.
We have different grace for it, but me, I don't too. Personally, I don't. I can use myself as an example. I go crazy. I will go mad. I call my badge. No, I can't. I can't tolerate any kind of cheating. If you've made a baby, it's a deal breaker for me.
It's a lot. Okay. All right. So it's with respect to this conversation itself, right? If there's been any form of infidelity, even emotional infidelity, you have to, whoever is the perpetrator, how do you say it?
Yeah, the victim.
Yeah. Whoever that person is, Number one, they have to be they have to be remorseful, as in like they regret their action. That's number one step.
Allah, they created another human being
No,
inside
wait
the
now.
marriage.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you forgiving them. I'm talking about the other side now. If the person wants to fix their situation, they have to. That's number one. If they don't, because the reason why I'm saying that, Auntie B, there are people that are starting to address everything else before the person is even remorseful. The person is still defensive, and you're considering it. There's nothing to consider. The person doesn't want to be here anymore. Imagine a Yule Doche, right? And you're considering if you stay in the marriage or not. That doesn't look like a person that wants to be in the marriage. Why would you want to be in the marriage with them? You see what I'm saying? So first step is that they're remorseful. Second step, they have to give infinite grace, meaning you might never come back to them again. They have to be okay with that. They have to be okay with that. Now, as for you, that you are the victim, honestly, nobody can manipulate you. It's going to take you how long it's going to take you. Some people, Auntie B, will say, oh, I can accept it, but they will show you shege for the rest of your life because of that debt. Basically, right? Some people will say, no, it's a deal breaker, I'm out, like you just said, right? And you can't judge them for that. It is what it is, because we're talking about trust. It's going to be very, very hard for them to build trust again. It's going to be a hard process for them
to get into an extramarital affair to the point that you are making babies and infecting me with some kind of disease. Nah, that marriage, whatever it is over and done with. You should be lucky that I don't put your ass in jail.
Yeah. So now, silent treatment, Auntie B. The least of their issues that you're giving them silent treatment. You're trying. You're trying to.
On top of all this transgression, are you kidding?
No. Like if you are I think this person is saying that person has offended me, so I'm silent, right?
Okay.
The least of their issues should be that you're giving silent treatment. I don't know why they would judge you for giving silent treatment if they have committed this much of,
Chase him to go and be with the baby mama. Let him stay there. It's good. Let him just go. Chase him. Change the locks. Lock him out. He's gone. It's because you women continue to tolerate all this rubbish. That's why. Silent treatment for what? Having a baby? Infecting me with disease? No. It's not proportionate now. Because me, I believe in do unto others as you want them to do to you. Okay? I'm thinking of it in a way that if it's me that has gotten pregnant now and brought a pregnancy that is not your own and have infected you with some kind of disease, are we going to be having this conversation? Silent treatment.
We're not going to have silent treatment conversation. Sorry, that's a different ballgame entirely. Yeah.
No.
Different ballgame. Yep. Yep. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said to me. When you are doing silent treatment or you're keeping malice with your spouse, you are not eating.
Yeah.
No
you're
eating.
Talking, you're not sharing anything.
The family is not growing too.
What are you doing? And you wonder why marriages end.
The family doesn't grow because you don't talk. There's no discussion, you don't unpack. Oh, I had a stressful day. Oh, I see this side hustle. You are not putting your thoughts together as a family. There's nothing coming out of that. So it doesn't work out. There's no resolution. It's because we cannot communicate as adults. That's why we resolve to malice.
Good point,
Mr. Ola would say emotional.
What did I say?
Emotional intelligence, or you use.
Oh, emotional. Okay, all right. Auntie B, let me ask you this question, Auntie B. So imagine you go to a person that has been giving you silent treatment, and you now say, my day has been quite stressful, and it's just crickets, and you now say, you now repeated yourself, and they look at you and they stare you down like this, right? But you remember in the last 24 hours there was a fight. What would you do?
Well, it depends. If I'm in a good mood, I'm in a forgiving mood, and I can decide to make light of it and just say, is it not you I'm playing with? Is it because of that thing that happened yesterday? I'll tickle him and say, please now, I'm talking to you now, But it depends on the mood at the moment. But other times, depending on the day that I can say, I'm talking to you and you're still doing shakara. Is it because of what happened yesterday? Eh. So you don't want to talk because of what happened yesterday. I'm even talking to you. You are not even happy that I'm talking to you.
I'm even talking to you. Like you're doing me a favor.
Like I'm even talking to you and you're still doing shakara. I beg, Jare. So it depends. It depends. Sometimes, you
That's
know,
true.
yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
You can just decide to make light of it and play and say, yeah, Joma Binu now. Maybe it was yesterday. Law now. I'm telling you about my day. Tell me sorry. You know that kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay, ma
Tell me
binu.
sorry. Ma
Right.
Binu.
Right.
You know. But other
yeah.
times you can just want to put your own coconut head on as well. And then you
Right.
get yeah.
Yeah, so it will depend on what we're dealing with, how deep it
serious.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a additional layer to that. What if it's like 1 week later after you did that tickle and the guy is still like me mugging around the house?
1 week.
1 week.
Allah, I told you I don't do silent treatment. You are calling one week.
Jump question, Abi. 1
week. I don't know how to do it. Alone, I can't, because I'm a people's person. Let me give you an example. When I was in Nigeria before I came to this country, I used to fill my house with people. All my cousins, my nieces,
everybody's around, always around.
I want people in my house 247. I love it. I don't like staying alone. Even now, you know, I struggle. That's one thing I've struggled with in the abroad. We don't have a lot of people at home. I love talking, engaging. We cook together, we eat together, we laugh, we play, watch TV.
Yeah.
So if it's me and you, knowing that the children I will have now, they are probably in their room doing their own thing. You know, this evening, one thought came to my mind because my younger son came home and was like, Mom, I like to use the TV. I was downstairs, I was watching something on telly, and he said, I like to use the TV. In my own time, can I tell my parents knowing that the TV and the living room belongs to
me? What do you mean?
All our parenting has changed too. Alone. Can I use the TV? Money, of course. I'll go to my room. I carried my laptop, went to my room, sat on my bed.
Wow.
I did. Because I knew that he had a long day, he wants to do something else. But I'm thinking about it in retrospect, the dynamics of parenting back in the day. Who born you to tell your papa your mama can I use the TV? When your parents are sitting down, you dare not sit there.
You can't even talk. You can't even talk. You can't even look at them in the eyes. Yeah. It's different.
It's different. Yeah. So I'm just trying to infer with that example to say that you know, things have changed. You know, we live in a different world, a different society. Dynamics of relationships and marriages have changed and all that. So 1 week I cannot stand it.
That's a lot. Because you give room for people to start to wonder. Even if they can't exit right away, and we know it's a marriage, you can't just walk out the door. But they start to wonder. Some people have friendship that they haven't spoken to in years. They will start to look at maybe syphilis, don't enter this stuff. They start asking and start digging and say, let me just give some space and stuff. But you give room to, it might be positive stuff, but you can also give room to a lot of negative energy to come into your relationship when you participate in that bad behavior.
1 week is a lot. I can't take it. If he doesn't talk to me for 1 week, come my budget. No, I can't. I just cannot, because I'm just that kind of a person that I need to interact. I can't reciprocate. So people, if you are with a partner who knows how to keep malice, you can keep malice. It can work for as long as you want.
Thank you for that, Auntie B. That's why it goes 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. Okay.
2 years, 1 year.
Yes.
Because
That's when
you are in that zone, but I'm not.
Both of you. Yep. For it to go past that 1 week period, somebody can give you a small space, right? But for them to stay there in that funk, they are also participating. They didn't start it, but they are participating. It could be because of fear. They're not sure if you're going to reject them. They're not sure if you're going to stonewall or Moloju, I forgot how they like stare them down when they're trying to just chill or gist for the rest of the day. They don't want to deal with any form of rejection coming from you because you're the one that started the silent treatment in the first place. So guess what? You train them to be better at this silent treatment than you.
Yeah. No, I can't. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let me give you an example of how this thing pains me. So you say you are doing silent treatment with me, and you be carrying face. I'll greet you. You give me one single answer.
Like a share cabo. I can see a share cabo.
Thank you. That kind of answer. Then our doru. Then you come and be doing funny.
That's another angle. Some people will finish doing it and they will continue the malice in the morning. How about that?
God will not allow me to see that type.
It happens though. But it happens.
No, it happened. I'm talking from experience.
Okay.
And women, a lot of women, we need clarity. And women, we pay attention to details in a way that if something is going on, we need to fix it first. But for you guys, you can decide, okay, let's leave that on the side now, and deal with what is on ground. I want to do kerewa. When we do kerewa, maybe we can talk about that. No. For the average woman, will say, no. You've not spoken to me for a week.
Right.
We need to deal with that. You're not going to have kerewa. But you brothers will come and say, you're my wife now. Let's do kerewa first. It doesn't matter whether we are not. Nibo.
Or to be, they will do it, right? A woman will do it and then resent you because she's doing it. Maybe she was raised
I'm
as
not doing
you
it.
cannot
I will not surrender. I will not participate. I will not allow it. Possible. There's no road.
Let me tell you one example. This person was doing stonewalling. She's the wife. She was stonewalling for months, and one day she just jumped in the bed and say, "Oh yeah, come and do your conjugal rights."
Like that?
Yes.
Is there an engine that you switch
and
on
then after it's a typical guy, so he needed some anyway. When it was done, she got knocked out, and then the malice continued the following day.
She did it.
Yeah, she's the one that came to ask for it. Now she was the one that was stonewalling, and randomly she just jumped in the bed.
He can't even do shakara and say no, I'm not doing it.
Ara not kuni, ara ti
not too like kerewa.
Ara ti kun,
like kerewa.
Because remember, he was the one expressing rejection.
And say no. You can't even do shakara. Guy cannot even do shakara and say no.
Yeah. Remember, he was the one experiencing rejection before, right? So, and rejection breeds obsession. So he might have been looking forward to this one where So he's like I had to just do what we had, but he was hoping that maybe after that too. But coconut head is not everybody's mate.
She carried on after the kerewa.
Yes.
Conjugal right. Only dafu conjugal right.
Anyway, let's continue. Yes. Well, the top of the 1 hour now for the Anti-B show. We're at 1 hour mark out of 2.5 hours. So God help us. Let's keep going.
Appeal your as a man or as a woman, your femininity. We let our ego step in. So if malice is passing for me, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I don't. Malice passing for even 1 day. I've done it before where it passed 1 day, and I know the shiggy that I saw. But
tell us, Bumi. Tell us.
Present to Bumi now. No, I've not done it, but I've done it in the past where it's 1-2 days. But no, if you are living with somebody and you have a child, you guys are growing. There's no resolution that will come out of it. It's not.
Like said, mine has been going on for five months. No sex. He goes and comes back to eat my food and sleep off. Please, is it enough to leave the marriage? Please advise. Why don't you talk to him, Mekmenyo? Since he's eating your food.
So when you say why don't you talk to him, it's the same thing that almost sound like when they do say why don't you? Because they do say, did you have a conversation? Remember Nedu's accent, the Abuja / London accent. This person is not talking. They don't want to talk, right? So to the victim, it will feel like what's the word? It feels like it's the same. It's just like a loop, right? but not necessarily loop. It looks, they call it stonewalling for a reason. Have you ever seen a wall that they made with stone? You can't go past it, right? That's what it feels like. And in addition to that, you are not firewood. You're resenting all of this. Yes, you've been rejected, but the last thing you want is that feeling of rejection. Nobody likes rejection. We all hate rejection, by the way. Right? So you don't want to experience that. So while you're waiting an additional minute, another moment, then you sleep, then you have another day, and then there's another week. Like Bumi said, it's a progression. It's a progression. It just keeps. It's like it's not. It's a progression. It's a painful experience, but yet people would rather deal with that pain than dealing with the pain of rejection. One of the hardest things for human beings to do. One of the hardest things for them to do is to get on the stage and talk the way you and I do it all the time, Auntie. This is a very difficult thing for people to do. Because they don't want to be trolled. Auntie, as she's disappeared. Where did she go? I can't find her anymore, right? They don't want to be trolled. They don't want any form of rejection. Okay, she's back. Etipadi. Shawambe. On mute.
I was trying to share it, so do me sita.
Okay. So you probably missed the thing I was saying just now, right? One of the you were asking a question. Let me play it real back a little quick. You asked a question here.
Sex. He goes and comes back to eat my food and sleep off. Please, is it enough to leave the marriage? Please advise.
Okay, so I thought it was you that asked it. So the person left the comment and they asked that question, right?
Yeah, if it's enough to leave the marriage because he's eating, but there's silent treatment for a long time.
Right. So it is enough for many people to leave the marriage. You said that before yourself, that you can't do it. You at some point you just leave, right? And then, but the reality is that it's a tough call, right? If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it, right? They would just leave. Right? The reason why they keep continuing that behavior is because you generally don't leave when that happens. So you're also enabling them, right? So rejection, the idea of the reason why people don't want to, because someone like Nedu asked the same question. Can you just, did you have a conversation? That's a person that doesn't want to talk, which means you've experienced rejection. So the last thing you want to experience is another rejection. And so now you have to be gauging them and sizing them up. When is it going to be good enough to talk to them? And most human beings, we hate rejection. We don't like that. So what we do is we shy away from the idea for as long as it takes before, hopefully naturally one day we just fall on each other's bula kwekus at some point, right? That's what people do, and it's a toxic behavior. One of the hardest things for people to do, I was saying before you came on, is to get on a stage and be talking to an audience the way you do it, seemingly effortlessly. Because people don't want to deal with trolls. Trolls is a form of rejection, right? People talking about what you sound like or you look like or how your content is not good enough, or those are all forms of rejection. Some people can't deal with that. They would rather not deal with that. Instead, they say, content creator, no, it's not for me, I'm sorry. Same thing, right? So that's why the idea of having this conversation that's what should happen, but it's easier said than done. It's something that it's generally difficult for people to do. You want to speak to that, Auntie B, before I continue? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I agree with you. Continue. I'm listening.
Okay, all right, sure. Uncle Patrick, welcome, sir. Uncle Patrick says keeping up Mali started before the marriage, probably hidden before marriage to deceive partner. It's a cancer worm that destroys marriage. It definitely starts like this is who they are. Now, who they are, I want to be careful when I say that. It's a behavior. It's a learned behavior. It's a part of their socialization. It can be unlearned, right? So I will never say, hey, just live with it because this person is Baraku. No, it can be unlearned. But it has to be done within a controlled environment, But it's definitely something that people can unlearn, and because even when you're learning, it has to be replaced with habits. Like somebody said, code words. Somebody says safe words and all those kind of things, right? Those are kind of the like tools that you can give people to change a bad behavior, like any other bad behavior. It's a bad habit. It can be changed. It's not easy, but it can be changed. So as opposed to, no, that's just who I am. Oh, leave me alone. No. It can be changed. And if you don't change it, something will break. It's as simple as that. So it's not a matter of... let's keep going. Welcome, Uncle Patrick.
Why don't you talk to him, Ekmenyo? Since he's eating your food, at least it's not all around malice then. At least he's still eating. Some will not eat.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to him? Just call him and say, okay, can we resolve this? If it's me that I'm wrong, I want to apologize. Let's talk about it. It's better. You see, this malice thing is an ego thing.
It's ego.
Yes, it's ego because nobody wants to initiate conversation. Nobody wants to talk about it. Let's just carry on.
Yep.
My full-time job is being a dad because I make over $300,000 annually without doing any work.
Why are you cooking? He's eating. You're sleeping on the same bed. 5 months. Nobody's going to tell you to leave your marriage, but I think you definitely need to have a conversation because it affects you mentally. You might not know it, but you know, you just be feeling somehow. And that's why people suffer from mental health. Before you know it, people start having mental breakdown. It's because of things like this. Yeah.
So before we go to Annie, so Ekpenyo needs support. So Ekpenyo would probably, if she had the room to talk, she probably like, I've tried to talk to him. There's certain questions that we ask people that will basically give it away. They've tried to talk to them. They're having a difficult. They have their own fear, as I mentioned earlier on, in terms of why they're not talking. They don't want to shut down. They don't want to deal with it. Maybe that person's mouth is not even nice. They don't want to deal with that person's mouth. You know, as in like Jojo, right? So maybe that's even more painful than the emotional abuse they're already experiencing. Someone like Ekpenyo, we need some kind of support. Hopefully they have that in their personal life. Most people don't have it. Most people have family and friends and aunties and uncles that will actually help them make things worse. Let's keep going.
He said, I'm sleeping now in animosity for 5 months with a pastor who doesn't like to apologize.
Jesus. 5 months. And he's a pastor.
He said, you have to what? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Eh?
All of you that keeping malice, both male and female.
He said over his dead body, essentially. It goes deep. It goes deep.
To solve problem. Sorry, uncle. You have no skills to solve problems. That's not a skill. It's not a useful skill to solve problem.
Wait, what?
You have no skills. All of you that keeping malice, both male and female. One brother here said that's how to solve problem. Sorry, uncle. You have no skills to solve problems. That's not a skill. It's not a useful skill to solve problem. Okay? We are talking about learning. You see how we always talk about learning. This is part of the things we need to unlearn. Yeah, we need to unlearn it.
Yeah.
Not to say, have you met a coconut head man before? Yeah, it's useful skills. Anyway, I'm sharing my link. The link is in the comment section if you want to join the conversation. Gumi has been hanging with me and we're having this conversation. But before they come back to apologize to May, she said she was sorry. She wrote a long epistle saying that she wasn't trying to trivialize her pain. And that she's sorry, it was taken out of context and everything. She apologized, then Chinedu had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Chinedu came and said, stand with whatever you said. And then she and Chinedu started dragging each other. Can you imagine? That's another thing I've noticed about their podcast. You notice that Chinedu and a lot of people that have been on the podcast, they always end up fighting.
Yeah.
The 500,000 girl that said, if you don't give me 500,000, if you don't give me 1 million.
20 million. You say if you don't have 20 million. Yeah.
20 million.
As people just be saying stuff, they just wake up and just conjure stuff in their brain, their minds. Like, I don't know. I think it's also part of the clout for the podcast, but you have to also evaluate it from the other side that it's also part of his character. He's a petty person because it's only him. There are about 4 people on that podcast. It seems to be the only one that has an issue with every other person.
I told you that he's petty. When I said that he's petty, it's not because of this particular one. I have observed him. I used to follow him on Instagram. Maybe it's like a woman. He behaves like a woman.
Jesus.
If you go to Instagram and watch that this particular episode, you see the comments. A lot of people were like, "Why you always cutting?" He's not the only one in the podcast. There are 4 of them. But you notice that if you watch even the cut off, he's always cutting other people off when they're talking. His voice is the loudest, and he's the one he will not fold his hand and clap his hand like woman. Fold his hand in his chest with that small leg and fold them in his chest.
Actually, sorry to interrupt, just to segue. That's a podcast with that other girl that was talking about money.
He's petty as F.
What that remind me of men that eat gum. Like when the man is eating gum, like why are you doing that?
Since when his ex-wife showed him Shaggy. The Shaggy of his ex-wife. He needs therapy.
Yeah, you know when people say somebody act like a woman, and it's a consistent story. because that's where Jegede pulled it from. A lot of people say that it's something that you should pay attention to. If you notice as a man, people are saying, hey, pay attention to it. At least have an explanation for it. Sesma says, I would explain it as feeling deeply wounded to paralysis when loved ones wrong me, especially when they do it knowingly. In a way, I feel incapacitated by sadness and takes long to recover. Yeah, it takes a while. I agree that it's a play again. It's a reaction, it's a response to some kind of wound. Thank you for that, Sesmo. Life would not say, Auntie B, how long would someone be calling and apologizing? Some would eat the food and do everything, but don't want you to come near them. Auntie B, that's for you. She probably walked away from the phone. All right, we'll address it. No worries. That's a good point. Natu, are you back?
Yeah. What did Natu ask again? Sorry.
She said, Auntie B, how long would someone be calling and apologizing? Some would eat the food and do everything, but don't want you to come near them. You remember when you were saying, Ekpanyo? Like, why not speak? Why not speak to him? That's what she's talking about.
Well, I mean, at some point you have to escalate these things by your actions. Yeah. You have to escalate it one way or the other. Something has to give.
Something has to give. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's either you are moving or you are getting people in to address it, but remaining in it is it's something personally I can't deal.
No, it's not personal. It's not advisable. It's not advisable for anybody to stay in that kind of funk and not do something about it. Something has to be done about that. Because, like you said, something will give. Something might break. Something that can break might be you. Right? Remember mental health, right? Some people say, no, I can handle it, but
absolutely.
Can you handle it?
No, you can't.
Yeah. So I don't advise anybody to act like they are some kind of psychotherapist inside of their own romantic relationship. Even me, I don't do that. I'm not capable. If me and my wife, if we're having issues, it's not something that I go there and address like a marriage coach. Right? I have to humble myself from that position. Because if it smells like that at all, it just gets worse.
Because with your wife, you are not a marriage coach. You are a husband.
Yeah.
Exactly. So your children, you're a father.
Yep.
So the dynamics are different.
It's different and it's personal. And my emotions are involved. So, and it's not something I can turn off. Right? So, yep. All right, let's keep going. We're at, okay, let's keep going.
I said, don't give me money the first day. That girl, and they do to a certain degree, like she was giving it back to him. She matched his energy.
That one here matches everybody's energy. She dragged all of them.
Well, they said a bunch.
If you try as much as make a post, that girl
So he needs people that will match his energy, because he instigates stuff and then he will say, hey, as a person, not just a man, as a person, he's doing too much, and as a man, that
there's some things that we expect from men. Real men don't behave in a certain way. Women, we are allowed because of our gender. We were born petty. We know that. But if a man is petty, how are we going to describe you? How are we going to describe you? I don't know.
No, Atibi, answer the question. No. If a man is petty, how are we going to describe him? You said, I don't know. Are you still on? I don't know.
I'm going to address you, petty man.
Yeah. How do I address it? You just say petty man?
Nah, because I don't know the name for it. Is there a name for it?
That's what we're dealing with these days. I think it's... So we all have feminine energy. Have you seen the Pop the Balloon show? Let me see if I can find it. Have you seen the Pop the Balloon show?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so they have this dating show thing that a lot of people are watching. They went viral. So there's a particular guy that went viral for being very saucy in his response to some of the girls that were rejecting him. So imagine if you say no to a person and they just have some, like catcalling. Like you catcall a girl, say, hey, Wambi, I beg, and they say, oh, fine, anyway, right? So that kind of attitude, right? So in the new generation, they have their ways, like they have very, very spicy, saucy things to say to anybody that rejects them. Like they're very quick. They might tell you your hands are. So this particular guy actually said one of the girl's hands is hairy because the girl was like, my eyes are right here, and she said, well, I was actually looking at the hair on your arms. Well, he was trying to throw shots at him. So what we have today is a lot of men that will respond in that way as a form of, hey, I'm defending myself. So if you're a saucy woman, they will defend themselves with their own mouth too, right? And then women would generally say things like, well, if you were a real man, you wouldn't act like that. So that's putting a lot of them in a position to say, what do you mean by a real man? I can't defend myself. At what point does it cross the line from masculine to feminine energy? These are some of the things that we're dealing with. So even with married men, as to relate to this topic right now, why would a man shut down for weeks, for months, a man, right? A person that's supposed to keep the household together. A person that's supposed to be the strong rock that everybody yields to. They don't move regardless of what's going on, right? That's the ideal. They are the rock. They don't move, right? So everyone can be falling, storms here and there, tornado, right? Hurricane. The rock don't move, right? 2024 type of men are saying, to hell with that. I have feelings. After all, you're encouraging me. I could be vulnerable, right? Can I share my emotions with you? I feel like I'm not heard. I feel like you don't listen to me when I talk. I feel like you should respect me more. Now, that's going in the direction of respecting, right? But it's the same conversation essentially, right? So instead of them doing that, what do? They yield to another behavior. I'm just going to ignore her, right? And you will hear even in the barbershop, like, just ignore her, right? Now, ignoring her or allowing her to talk or listen to what she's saying are completely different things. So that's why I asked the question, like, at what point do you cross the line from being a fake man to real man? That's what I'm talking about. But let's keep listening. Gracious Greatness say, I am not a real man, no. I'm sassy, and Shetingo and TV, Shetiro, Otiyo. Let me see here. It says some people allow their stomachs to advocate for them in all situations. They are eating full appetite from the person they offended, no fear at all. That's a level of entitlement, right? Because after all, you're the wife. Just do the needful, and one day we might get back there again. But just take care of your children, and one day we might get back to me talking to you in that manner again. But I'm not comfortable anymore, right? I really don't advise a woman to be the one to always break the ice. It's not safe. It depends on what you mean by break the ice. It depends, right? It depends. That statement is so generic. It depends on the situation, right? But there are powers that women have that we don't have, right? But it depends on the uniqueness of that particular situation. Let's keep going. Let's get back to this conversation. Reaction is forever. If you ever want to see this completely, go to Obodo Onyibo TV. The video is up there, 2.5 hours. You can watch it fully without me interrupting it, okay?
And there are some things that men shouldn't do. A man is, they say what they want to say. In few words. That's how you earn your man's respect. And
TB is already answering here. A man says what they want to say in few words. I have to dissect that. Oh God, that's awesome. For some reason, I missed that the first time I watched it.
That's the men. That's the kind of men that women respect. Not not the ones that go and behave.
Like I'm not talking anymore. But this is a good point. This is a good point.
They say what they want to say.
Wait, go back.
How are we going to describe you? How are we going to describe you? I don't know. There are just some things that men shouldn't do. A man is, they say what they want to say.
A man says what he wants to say. Gentlemen, the idea is not for you not to say what you want to say. Women actually want you to say what you want to say.
Say it, but please don't nag.
The nagging part is the issue. That's when it becomes an issue. when you're going on and on and on and on, and now you're being accused of verbal abuse. What is it exactly? Because now everything is lost in the source of everything. Because now you're being accused of verbal abuse, and you're going to get triggered when you get when you get accused of verbal abuse. You get triggered. You're like, what do you mean by verbal abuse? Right? Exactly that. That's verbal abuse, right? You say what you want to say. You mean what you want to say. It does not have to be correct. You just say what's on your mind. Speak what's on your mind, right? You're sure of yourself. That's what makes you a man. That if you notice that people keep saying to you that you're not a real man, it's probably a good chance that you're showing up that you're not sure of yourself. You might be selling cock and bull stories. You might be selling ideologies that clearly don't take a stand. You might be when you're doing that and they're pushing back against you, but then you go and then you're trying, it's not working, but somehow you feel the need to push it down their throats. It's a sign that you're not sure of yourself.
Let me tell you something, man of prestige.
Yeah.
You see, men like Chinedu, they will struggle to find a woman that will respect them long term. You know how you are always saying, you men, you want that respect?
Yeah.
Respect is earned.
Yeah.
Women don't respect men that behave like them.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this communication that we're talking about. I don't like this thing. I don't like this thing. This is what you did. Can you not do this? I don't want it. Lobaton. Our fathers, they were like that. Once they said it, that's it. Our mothers knew to respect that because they know that he's not going to say it again.
He's not going to repeat it again, but he meant it.
No. That's it. He said it, and they will adjust quickly.
Yeah.
But you go on every day. It's you and women. If she say 10, you say 100. Benny, you are not a man. You are not a leader. You are not a king. I beg.
Yeah. Because it's not working. And if it's not working, the first step is to step back and listen. Why is it not working? But these days, what we try to do is shuffle it down their throats. We do it with children too. And could it work? Let's keep going. I dropped the link. It's at the top of the hour. Let's listen a little bit.
In few words, and that's it. That's how you earn your woman's respect. And if your woman knows that you once you say it, that they will respect you more than you. A lot of people is not convinced. It's telling me that for me, my malice entails not eating her food, sleeping in the car or hotel. And I cannot be convinced otherwise.
Now there you start. If you sleep for car, if you sleep for hotel, before you know a person will come join them. And you know another thing too.
I feel sorry for your wife. You sleep in the hotel. And you come.
No, the part for me is I cannot be convinced otherwise. That part. Right? There's no better way to demonstrate exactly what you're being accused of. You lack the skills of active listening. And you're like, leave me alone. What did Yul say yesterday? Yul was like, God called me because I'm a coconut head. With my full chest, I'm a coconut head. Is that something to be proud of? Like, I'm not, like, in what context would you need to be proud of that? What point could you be trying to make to say that I'm an egotistical maniac and I'm proud of it? Right? That's a man that's not sure of himself. He's trying to sell an idea and it's not working. Because if you go in this comment section, you can tell. But that's just social media. No, social media is as real as we are. Those are human beings. Some of them are trolls, yes. But stop it. Stop the cap. Okay?
Stop the cap.
Those are real human beings and they're telling him the truth. You see the consensus.
Come back when? I feel sorry for your wife. Sorry. Let's leave it there. You come back where? I will change the laws before you come back. You will not open the door. That's why you will now go on internet and be making video and say, what are you women?
Don't bring them to you.
I will change the locks before you come back. You will not enter your house. Now your house.
Japa problems.
You go sleep in hotel, make you see. I beg. When I know the kind of better women when they marry, when they make, when they behave. You go to hotel and sleep. Then you come back. You guys start to pick your victim.
I
And
also
to
want to
was
mention
not
something
feeling
that
that
sometimes
comment.
where I'm like, oh, look at what you did, look at what you did. Where I'm saying I'm collecting my thoughts. I will not be like, I will not be saying, I did the right thing like this. I will not be like, I should have not done that. With me, until I'll fight. Waiting cause fight where they think your whole life. So that's another con of keeping malice or whatever. Like, oh, you start having negative thoughts. You know.
I mean, I think as
Now, Bumi, you're not a real malice keeper. You know, you're a fake one. If you're okay, some people do think about it, but a major part of their behavior is just escaping from the pain of engaging tough conversations. That is major, and it's often accompanied also by coconut head, a certain level of pride, narcissistic behavior. You know, I rarely ever use that. Okay, we're talking about a person that have a hard time seeing that they could possibly ever be wrong, even though it's not about being wrong, right? So that's what it's about. So when you're still thinking like, maybe I'm wrong, this is just you trying. You wanted to back off. I encourage people to back off of toxic conversations for a short while, right? Just because you cannot have that conversation if everybody is upset. If at least one person is upset, that conversation cannot happen. It needs to take a break and then you come back to it, right? So if you're still able to have some conscience and say maybe that's a good thing, right? But that's one thing. But another level is like, do you have the skills to break the ice and engage the conversation again, right? For example, I like the answer that Auntie B gave earlier on, where she said, I would take like, is it because of yesterday? Some people actually find that very awkward. They can't do it. It's not always their fault. Sometimes it's the way they're raised. They're not open. They're not sexual. They're sensual. They're disconnected from their sensual part like that. They don't want to initiate. Okay, and it shows even when they're having sex. They just there. Take what you want to take. So when it comes to a little bit of initiation, right? They have a hard time with that. I've told Auntie B she has to do, because she will say certain things sometimes like, Auntie B, you know what you're doing. You know you can turn this to a lecture and teach some of these ladies. How do you see, like I'm talking sexual now, how do you seduce your husband? How do you take control in that department in a way that you can still feel comfortable in your feminine energy as a woman and you don't feel like you're just leading, right? In a way that you can also still give him control and he can be a man that he is, right? It's a skill set. If it comes off natural to you, you don't see it as a skill set. It comes natural to you, but not everybody is privileged to have it natural like that, you know? But the fact that she was able to answer in that way, like, if this with one day, okay, Mabino. That Mabino is not premature apology. It's not even that deep. It's like, okay, let's break the ice. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, I'm sorry. That I'm sorry is not necessarily that over glorified apology topics we are having. It's like, okay, all right, come, right? Like pulling them together, open arms, keeping an open mind about, okay, we were just upset yesterday, right? But then, like I said, if you experience rejection, if somebody is coconut-head enough and you experience rejection just a little bit, that can become a problem, because rejection is not something that anybody enjoy. Okay, it kicks against everything that you like to feel as a human being, right? We all like to be validated. We all like to feel significant in the eyes of our romantic partner. So if they're giving you this energy like they don't want you, that becomes very difficult. It becomes a very complex issue, and that's what a lot of people are dealing with. But there's also methods around that. But I'm just saying, if you can do the small things, it goes a long way. You can build on top of it. The small things like, okay, it's been yesterday, it's not talking, it's stonewalling. Okay, all right, that's calm down. Okay, I'm sorry, right? Well, why should I be the one to apologize? That's not really an apology. That's just, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. It's just break the ice. Relax, it's not that deep is the point, right? But maybe it's deeper than I thought. Maybe there's resentment. Maybe we need to hear more of your story, right? Let's keep going.
Adults, we have to always self-assess ourselves. Yeah. It's very, very important as adults, whether you're a man or woman, to self-assess yourself. And when like that uncle that is saying that I'll go and sleep in a hotel, now eat her food, that's malice for me. You have a daughter. If you have a daughter and she tells you that her husband will leave home for 3 days to go and sleep in a hotel, what would you say to her? What are you teaching your children? That it's okay for you to leave home just because it still comes down to the fact that you cannot manage conflict. You don't have the skills. That's what Ola called zero game. Everybody should have. Unless a men like this uncle, you don't have game. Because if you have game, you will not be going to sleep in a hotel just because you have a disagreement. And then you will now come back and they will not be what? You think it's only you that can do it to go sleep in a hotel? Anybody that has money that work can go and sleep in a hotel. You see women that justify this DNA cheating and everything, that women cheating, revenge cheating and all that. The women that justify, these are the things they used to justify. There's no justification for it though. I don't believe in it. I think it's wrong. But they'll keep telling you that when some people are just acting mad. So because you
have you ever been in a cold plunge? Recently we attended.
Well, here's the thing. If they will justify, you made me do it. Women generally will do that. Generally, not all the time. You made me do it. Well, it's reality. Like, some people will yield in that direction if it becomes a matter of survival. They'll do what they have to do. Okay. As far as how they hold themselves accountable, well, it's too late. They've done what they've done. But it's true. A lot of people will start to wonder once you leave that kind of room. So if you open that kind of door, right, where people can just you leave one day, it's just one day, it's been 2 days, well, it's been 3 weeks. Well, those are if you understand how the universe works,
I'd like to hear your thoughts about that person in my comment section the other day that was saying that his own silent treatment, that he will go and sleep in the hotel, he won't come home.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
You said it now.
Said, nobody can tell me otherwise.
You said it now. He said I can't be convinced otherwise.
He said I can't be convinced. Yeah.
Yeah. You already said it. That's a person who lack game. Now, if he was in the regular ward outside, right? Let's say he goes to the hotel to go and sleep with other women, and that's just his thing. He wouldn't even be engaged in this conversation like that. So he won't be in this conversation. So we know for a fact that this person is collecting woto in their, or they've been listening to the wrong ideas in terms of advice. Sometimes they're just young boys who they're listening to nonsense on the internet, right? But
it's only young boys, though. The uncles are there in the WhatsApp.
That's why I said sometimes. That's why I said sometimes, right? But the reality is that you left. Let's process this. You're a man. You're paying the bills in your household, and you're leaving the house to go and sleep in the hotel because your wife is stonewalling you, or because you don't want to deal with the hard conversation.
Because there's a disagreement.
Because it says everything we need to say. It says you don't have the skills of being a husband. You shouldn't be somebody's
you run
husband.
Away you run away.
Like a bitch.
This is the example of a little boy that will run away when they are throwing tantrums. When they are unhappy, you run away.
Yep. In this conversation, we've said that a few times. It's a teenager behavior. Like you're just looking to run away. That's something we expect. It's immature behavior. So it's not a matter of, I'll just show him. No, it's not. I'm just showing. More importantly, you're not capable of getting your woman to listen to you. That's what that is. As in capability. As in when we say capable, right? As in like other people actually have the skills. Even when the conversation is tough, they can actually sit through the process and have a conversation, no matter how tough it is, and they iron things out. And if it's they need to back off a little bit and let the person calm down and then come back to it, they're also okay with that. They have that level of patience.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're talking about the situation in terms of how this is unhealthy and how people can develop skills to be able to manage such, when they have issues like that. You are saying, nobody can convince me otherwise.
Yeah. So no, we can't justify it. You made a good point. We can't justify woman bad behavior, paternity fraud, or we can't justify with that. But that's the reality. Sometimes you leave an open door for your family. You have no idea the extent the damages is going to go. That's what we're trying to say. So we can't afford to even sugarcoat it and say, but sometimes I just like, no, you should first of all know that silent treatment is a terrible form of communication and conflict handling, because that's what you're trying to do. You just don't know, you don't have the skills, right? And you can't be convinced otherwise. Thank you for confirming exactly what we thought. You don't have the skills, you should not be anybody's husband. So please feel free to check me like that, Auntie B, anytime. Let's continue.
You go, leave the house, sleep in a hotel. And then when you come back, what's going to happen? Let me not dwell on it. Let's leave that.
Yeah.
Let's leave that. They know, you know the kind of woman that you are married to. That's why you can do that. You probably come back. She is Yoruba. You are Yoruba. Probably your wife is Yoruba too.
Yeah.
So she will come and be begging you. You know, in some Yoruba families, when your husband offends you, they'll tell you to go and kneel down and beg him.
Yeah. Oh, you're worrying me.
Yes, you have to beg. Yeah, it's okay. He's the kind of woman that you're married to. It's good. If she decides to dash you a child that is not your own, now you'll be crying up and down.
So this is the contradiction part, right? It seems like contradiction, but it's not contradiction, right? Auntie B was saying, Auntie B, please feel free to chime in on this one. She was saying, if it's Yoruba land, they will ask you to go and beg him and stuff like that. But earlier on, when I asked Auntie B, she also said, Mabinu. Auntie B, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can say Mabinu if it's just, we're having issues, and not when you go and sleep in a hotel for 2-3 days, leaving me and the children. Ola, Amy gone him. I'm been. In fact, I said it. I don't know. I don't know whether you played that part where I said I will change the locks. Honestly, I will.
You did. I played it. I played it on fast speed.
Rascal like that. I will change the locks. You will not be able to get in. How are you gonna do that?
You won't care if you don't care if Daddy Freeze carries the story and say, "Jack, my wife, change the locks." Auntie B, that come on, Auntie B, are you there? Let's see. I think our internet was acting up just now. Auntie B, I can't hear you. Or is it me? I can't hear her. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, you're back. I said you won't mind if Daddy Freeze carries the story and say, Japa wife has changed the lock.
Not today. Not today.
Abi, exactly.
Maku. Last, Maku. If you can go outside and be sleeping in a hotel, Kuku stay there. Where are you coming back to? Kosono. There's nowhere. Stay there.
Right. That also demonstrates what we're just talking about, being sure of yourself. If you're not going to stay permanently at the hotel, it goes to tell you, why would you even try that? It's like, again, we talked about this yesterday. You should not be threatening anybody with divorce. If you're not going to pull it through, don't do that. If you're going to do it, by all means, that's what a man is. If you know you've decided you want divorce, there's nothing wrong with that. You have your reasons. But if it's just a matter of threat, it's not something to be playing around with. But yeah, let's continue. If you want to call in, feel free. This conversation continues tomorrow, so we don't have to end it today.
Because that night that you're going to sleep in a hotel, you don't know who's sleeping in your house. You don't know. You think you are smart. Everybody can play that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody can play that game. Let us just, you know what? What can we take away from this? Let's learn conflict resolution. When we have conflicts, how do we resolve it so that it doesn't extend to 5 months malice? It doesn't result to somebody going to sleep in a hotel. Somebody saying, I don't want to eat your food. There's no kerewa. By the time you don't kerewa for 5 months, you are living together, no kerewa. Not that you are sick, nothing happened to you. You're telling me that hotel that you're going to sleep, no woman is sleeping with your uncle. Stop it. Stop that cab.
Stop the cab.
Stop the cab.
I'm even for 1 week, no kerewa. When it's not like you are sick or nothing. 1 week. Nah.
Stop the cab. Just stop the cab.
Yes, so Chino Achebe said, if a sign of a healthy, I'm paraphrasing, but he probably says that a sign of a healthy marriage is when the bed in the bedroom shakes.
If the bed is shaking, if the bed is not shaking, what are you doing? What are you doing there? You will go and be shaking the bed in the hotel and shaking the bed with the children. Uncle, they will dash you DNA a child that is not your own soon. Continue. First, a woman that is out marital home to go sleep in a hotel will be given a name that is not hers. Of course. That means said, someone said 8 years. They kept married for
Jesus.
8 years.
Jesus.
Jesus. I have nothing to say to that.
People are fine.
I don't know anything.
Yes. You go to medical school.
I don't know. That's time for you to train as a lawyer, to train as a doctor, and you are
8 years.
Allah, you can see that this problem is deep, go.
Yeah.
It's very deep.
Yeah. I'm glad we tackled it because it's like 9 out of 10 cases. There's always some form of silent treatment in the client cases we're handling. you know, but it's the idea that people will be justifying it, which people attempted at the beginning of this show in the chats before you started to tell like, hey, you have to change. And then they started. So I think somebody said they felt bad. Like, it's not about feeling bad. It's about behavior, and you can change it. That's what it's about, you know. But it's at least good that we see this so that we can say, okay, all right. It even tell us more that okay, it's human, right? You shut down. You don't want to deal. That person is verbally abusive, so you shut down in efforts to escape having to deal with that. While that's painful, but at least you avoid the pain of listening to their mouth. So at what point do you engage the conversation and still have it? Well, some people are not comfortable with very hard conversations. Some people have serious trouble with accountability, self-accountability. So if it looks like you're correcting them in any way, shape, or form or the other, they will shut down. Right? It's not always something that is absolute intention, coming from a place of absolute intentionality. It's an emotional response, right? And it's very important that we say it that way so that you don't start looking at your spouse as the devil, because that would also make you the devil. If they are truly the devil, you should just simply leave, you know.
Keeping malice. You are not seeing when people talk about we've been married for 25 years, we've been married for 50 years. I always just roll my eyes. I don't I roll my eyes. No, because a lot of them, for instance, these people that are keeping malice now, they're counting those years that they are married years. No, you check out now.
I check out
8 years that you are keeping malice as part of your marriage. Really?
Nah. You do. God creates.
God creates. God creates. Brother Ben.
Before we get into Brother Ben's segment, Uncle Beno, Chidima, you can call in today. Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Bring it on. Let's do it today. I'm not in a rush today. 10 emotions caused by silent treatment. These are the 10 emotions. Auntie B, are you there?
I'm here, Baba.
So these are the 10 emotions caused by silent treatment. Oh, I don't know if you can see your screen. I'll read it to you. Confusion, frustration, sadness, anxiety. 5, anger. 6, this one is big, self-doubt. You know, when people start to say, doubt if they're good enough. Fear, insecurity, powerlessness, isolation. What are your thoughts, Auntie B? Those are the 10 emotions caused by silent treatment. Once she said, let me drop the link for her. Oh, let me find it. All right. 10 emotions. Some of those are so rejection is fear of rejection. That's fear. Okay. Chidima, please feel free to call in. Auntie B is hanging out. You can feel free to call me and contribute. Fear of rejection is a big deal, right? Insecurity, all of these are connected in one shape or form or the other, right? A lot of them are connected in one way or the other. But these are the issues. These are the 10 reasons why no one should normalize it. Auntie B, welcome.
Thank you, Ola. It's almost midnight here, so let me just say this.
Okay.
Regarding, I was reading that. I was actually going to post it on my Insta stories. The 10 emotions caused by silent treatment. Completely spot on.
Yeah.
Completely spot on. Probably it's more than this, but yeah, this is enough.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
why
a good place to start.
I was comparing it to mental health. Like with time, people begin to have mental health issues because the person that they're supposed to be talking to is not talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not everybody that can handle it. So yeah, let's just discourage it in all ramification. It is wrong. Let us just learn how to be better. Nobody is perfect. We are learning. We're a work in progress. If you know better, you do better. Let's just do better.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Auntie B, for
that's
chiming in.
We are working tomorrow morning, so
yeah, have a cool rest.
Kosiwala.
I'll see you later. Thank you.
All right, Prestige family. I salute you all over the farm. Wanna take care. Chidima, I see you.
Yeah,
take
Chidima,
care, my dear. I saw Chidima. I saw Bumi Amara is there. And all the rest. God bless. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Have a good night, ma.
Chidima.
Man was Prestige. Good evening.
Your internet is on point today. No lags, nothing. That was my fault, though. I realized later that last one was my fault.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So talk to me. I know you wanted to say yesterday, but then
it was good because it gave me time to gather my thoughts together. I had a cool down moment so I can gather my thoughts together.
Hold on 1 second. Let me tell Issa Moore, your device is not connected. Maybe restart the browser on your phone and then come back in. It says your device not connected. So try again. I'm going to kick you out just so you can try. So it make it easier for you to get out. Go ahead, Chidima. Talk to me.
Okay. So, when this conversation started on your show, on Auntie B's show, we were talking about the difference between cooling down and silent treatment. Like cooling down when a situation is heated to avoid escalating it, right? So I took my time to think and process. If I'm the one in those two situations, what will I see the difference? And I realized that if I'm actually cooling down, my focus is on bettering the communication, on getting across to the other party. My focus is not on them. It's more on me, what I need to do. Whereas the silent, I'm focused on them. I want to show them. I want to punish them. They are not listening to me. How dare they not accept or listen to my point of view? Who do they think they are? It's all about them. So I think if we are honest to ourselves, we can police our thoughts and our work and know the difference. We don't even need a third party to tell us the difference. I don't even think it's much of the time frame as much as it is what is going on in your head that time you're taking time apart.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to determine the difference between the two.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things
I like that. When you're the timeout thing, the purpose of it is what makes it different from silent treatment.
Right.
Because we have a whole chapter called Silence is Golden here. That's what makes it different. It's not about I'm shutting down so I can manipulate the other person into what I want. It's about self-assessment.
Right. And that brings me to my next point, to manipulate somebody into what I want, aka controlling behavior. I think when we say control, some people might think that control is you are barking orders verbally at someone and telling them you must do this or else. No. If you are trying to control someone's reaction, meaning I will shout down until they come back and apologize, that's control. Or you're trying to control the outcome of a situation. It doesn't have to be verbally barking orders at someone. There are so many forms of control.
Yes.
I think people hear controlling, they think of a dictator. And so because they don't raise their voice, they can't wrap their head around the fact that they are controlling.
Yeah.
And that brings me to a comment I made under Auntie B's show when she did the show the first time. I said the problem with those who practice or support silent treatment is that they are so focused on what they are not doing. I don't buzz them. I don't shout at them. I don't slam doors. I don't throw things. They are so focused on what I don't do. I'm not abusive because I don't do these things. And so they refuse to see how they are. Just like people who are verbally abusive, they're so focused on the fact that they don't hit or beat.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, they are not. Or people who are financially abusive, they don't see the one they are doing. They're so focused on what they are not doing, and that's just to me is a lot of ignorance. It might not be intentional ignorance, but it is ignorance of what abuse really is.
Yeah.
And our society that we grew up in doesn't help. There's a lot of ignorance around what abuse and different forms of abuse.
Hold on. Mute. Beyond. Mute. Hi, Beyond. Jum. I'll come to you. No, you're good. You're good. Just mute for now. All right. Continue, Chidima.
Okay, so I think there needs to be a lot of education on like what abuse really is, and like you always say, it is the person being affected by your words or actions that determines whether your actions or words were abusive, not you. You can't
Right.
say I am doing this and it is not. You can't define
Right.
I mean, we have
Right.
laws that define what our actions are, and so also when we're in a relationship. I also want to say one more thing. We said, well, people are different. You should learn your partner and learn how not to trigger them, right? So now, this idea that people are different. If I'm a nurse and I go to work and my boss tells everybody the expectations of this job, am I not going to do my job and tell her, well, ma, sir, people are different. I can't do it this way. I have to do it my own way.
I do it my own way. Right.
If I go to school and
Yeah.
professors give me lectures and I'm supposed to study and I write OP for exam and I don't pass, and
Yeah.
I'm going to say, well, they were discriminating against me because I'm different. I wrote it my own way.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Only when it comes to relationships.
It's
that we
only
now start
relationships
to
that we
forget
that we
people are
disrespect like
different.
that. Yeah.
That to me, that is just I don't know the word. It is idiotic to me. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not calling anyone an idiot, but it's just I don't know.
It's misapplication, right?
Right.
It's true that everybody is unique and different, but the only level where we need to apply that concept is in application. The concept, the principles, the knowledge we need to have, such as silent treatment is dangerous,
Right.
is true across the board.
Right.
It-
So marriage has certain principles and it needs to follow.
Mhm.
Maybe applied in different ways, like you say, the application might differ, but the principles are the same. That will
Yeah.
make it healthy across the board. Just like a
Mhm.
school or a work, any other thing we put our hands to do has principles that guide it. I don't know why we think
Yes.
marriage we can just wing it and make it work. It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
Anytime it's a collaboration between two or more people, it
Right.
needs principles to
Some
guide
guidelines.
it.
Right. Some bylaws.
Yes.
Right.
You
And
cannot just do that's me. Well,
No.
that relationship will not last.
It
If it's
won't.
involving two or more people,
Right.
even if we can't put it into proper words, best believe
Yeah.
there are principles that's guiding it.
Exactly.
You know?
Even if it's implied but not
Yes.
verbalized, there are
Yes.
some sort of principle.
Yeah, we're not always able to
Yeah.
put it into words so perfectly, but if any relationship is thriving and involves two or more people, there are principles, there are rules, there is a manual for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Chidima.
No, I
I
have one more
appreciate
thing.
you.
The final thing I wanted to say, just one more thing. You know, when Auntie B was saying was saying that if you are keeping malice for that long, that's how a woman will come and dash you a child that is not yours.
Paternity,
You know,
yeah.
you know, the people that justify keeping malice, one of the things I've heard said recently is that, well, it's because they were trying to get through to the other partner and they are not seeing reason, they are being unreasonable in a conversation. That
Right,
was
so
one
sound like
wrong-
the same excuse, right?
Right, so that was one wrong thing somebody was doing, and then you had another wrong thing, and now paternity fraud. So, are we really resolving conflict, or are we compounding the issue? So, I
Yeah.
want people to see the same way you think, okay, two wrongs can make a right. Well,
Mm.
paternity fraud will come and meet you, another wrong will make a right now.
Jesus.
How about that? I don't think
No, don't do it. Don't do
not
that.
me, oh. No,
Yeah.
I'm not like that at all. No,
You know the thing, Chidima, people just don't randomly sit around and decide to do these things. It doesn't mean we're saying they didn't make a choice. They made a choice. But there's certain environment that makes certain bad behavior thrive.
right, created the opportunity for you to even begin to entertain the idea in the first place.
Yes. The same would be true to an extent when somebody say, if you dress a certain way, you wear some nice, your husband will stay at home. Some women will say, no, if he's going to cheat, he's not going to cheat. No, that's coconut head. There are some people, okay, if their hands are full, they're not looking anywhere else. You're still right that a cheater will cheat, but two things can be right at the same time.
Right.
We're not going to pretend that
men are not visual again.
Like when his hands are full and he's satisfied, there's a heightened chance he won't go and cheat. Right. We're not going to pretend that that's not true, So while you're right, that also can be right. Yeah. You can hang out though. Let's talk to Jum Jum. Jum Jum, how far? Unmute your microphone.
I apologize. I didn't know that my voice.
You're good. Don't worry about it. How are you?
My first time.
I know. Beyond braids. Love it.
God. You are doing an amazing job, and I've learned so much joining your show. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you put situation in such a way that is very relatable. That no matter how dumb you are, you will be able to. I'm not saying anybody is dumb. Like you explain to the letter, right? So there's no, except that you use.
I take my time. I know what you mean. Yeah, all you have to do is say, "Hola," you are using being English, and I will break it down. Right.
So let me engage you for a minute, and that is when you were explaining that when the other partner is keeping malice, and you just want to, explain to them, oh, this is what you're doing. This is how I feel about it. Let me just pull back and explain to them. I think that would be like a very normal circumstances when you're dealing with the real people that is very reasonable. Like even when you're
they're okay.
Back, people that are okay. Like even when you're pulling back, they understand that
they get it.
Not because you just want to back out. It is to just die down the situation and not to let it get to the point of it's got out of control. But when you're dealing with people that is unreasonable, even you're pulling out, will be like let them still rush you. Like when you're dumb, that is why you're pushing back, and then sometimes you go to the point where you think like, I'm keeping quiet not because I don't know what to say. And some people that are not normal, I'm sorry for using that word, they might capitalize on that and then abuse it to the point that you start talking back and back and forth to the point that you cannot just get anything across, and no issue is being resolved. Resolve at the end of the day. So you now grow to the point that you like to keep malice. I don't like to keep malice. When I engage you, you are not being reasonable, and then it's just back and forth. Like what I just want to say is this: how you're explaining it will be like the normal. So
when I explain it, can you repeat my explanation? So can you repeat my explanation? Repeat that.
So your explanation is when you're dealing with someone and you see that they are not, like, maybe you're not getting anywhere. If you now withdraw, maybe before 24 hours or after 24 hours, that was when Sister B was there. Like
that's right.
When Auntie B said like a week is a lot, like 24 hours.
So the Auntie B example would be somebody who is understanding of your withdrawal.
Exactly. Now when Auntie B says she will come back and tickle you, when you are dealing with somebody that is not normal, no matter how tickle, in fact they will even manipulate the whole issue. You will be thinking like, is it more than what I did?
So
no matter how, let me use Auntie B as an example, very good. No matter how she cannot keep malice, but you're dealing with somebody that keep malice, she will be frustrated to the point that she will even learn how to keep malice, because she'll be like, all my effort, you're not being reciprocated. You're not. I don't know if you understand.
I get it. Remember, I asked her a question. I said it's a second layer question. I said, what if 1 week later you have to, right?
So, possible outcome will be like maybe she will now start learning how to write. You are not even happy that I'm talking to you.
You remember she said that, and I said, "Hey, you're not happy, Abby."
That I'm talking to you. It now becomes your own second habit, because this is somebody that is in your space, whereby you cannot get through with them. Either you start learning to keeping malice and then you got tired and then walk away at the end of the day because there's really no getting through to them.
There's
and
no
so
getting
it's
through to
very
them.
simple when you were explaining it. I'm like, hey, this is so simple.
Yeah,
Like when you
yeah.
are explaining it, but it is not as simple in real
No,
life.
it's everything we say here is easier said than done, right?
Yeah,
Everything we say
yeah.
here, it's a very difficult process to get through, but it's
Yeah.
worth it because it helps you. Like the other side of it is that if 1 week later, what another 1 week, right? The only thing you will learn from that, if you're a normal person, you know, Auntie B is enlightened. She talks
Yeah.
about this all the time. The normal person will just learn how to keep silent too.
That's it.
So,
And you're
so.
not getting anything solved.
So 8 years later, you're like, I can't believe I wasted 8 years of my life.
Yes. And
You know?
also another thing that I will bring up is if you're dealing with someone that bring out past issue or often, maybe when you resolve issue today, you think it's gone, then you have another misunderstanding maybe in next month, and they brought back what you resolved.
Wait, Jim, the gender warrior in me is coming out. Who do you think do that the most, men or women that bring up past issues?
I have seen men that does it. Generally, the answer is men.
Okay, hey, with your full chest,
Now bring you back that.
with your full chest. Yeah, continue.
What I'm trying to say, okay, so imagine when Atibi was saying that men are known for their words. When you say one thing one time, people respect it because you're not going back on your words. But when we now have a man that is always talking and talking, it got to the point that you don't respect that word.
You lose respect.
Because, yes.
You lose respect.
So now when you have a man that is always bringing back issue, the respect is gone because you are not expected to be engaging like a woman. Now we are two women in the house. It is that a woman will bring up stuff. That is how you did last month. But if it is a man that is doing it, you know, Yoruba will say where you are expected to see head, if you meet tail there, you know, you'll be disappointed. So stuff like that, you don't want to engage because when we are engaging, you're bringing back old stuff and it is not expected of a man. So that way, that can lead to...
Not only that is it expected as a man expects himself to be the leader. So it's a confusion when he acts otherwise. It's an internal confusion, and he shows up in his behavior, and it makes the woman lose respect, and then he come back and ask for respect, and then it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. The more you ask for respect, the worse it gets.
And then that's when they throw around. I'm the head of this house. You have to respect me. Like,
you have to introduce yourself. Dr. Akpoki said you have to introduce yourself as the head of the house.
I listen to him. We have... Oh my God!
Really?
Yes, I discovered his channel. I'm like,
I like him too.
Wow.
They're coming out. We need them.
Very simple.
You should go and watch a video he did with his wife.
I watch it. The woman was just smiling. And let me engage you one more time about the aspect of the wife that said the man forced her to read medicine, you know, and when yes, for me,
was it a nurse of medicine? First time to medical,
medical. So for me, I bring it to this time. If a man will ask me to do something I don't want to do, I don't think. Well, at the end of the day, both of them compromise on one way or the other, and then at the end of the day, it pays for them. And that is why you cannot just stand like I'm the head. I'm the one. This is my space. Everybody will be moving, you know, one way or the other. And at the end of the day, to be for the good of the family. It's such a very white man.
But that woman has to feel safe to a certain extent to be able to yield like that.
When you tell me to jump, I will jump because I know it is for our good. You have good intention for me. Even if I don't want to do it, for you to tell me to do it, I trust you. You have to be a place of trust for me to like, I don't think it's something. The woman says she wants to go into education, but you're asking me to come into medical field. But I trust you. And it will be for the good of the family. So,
there's a certain level of safety she has to feel to not ask you like, sure, why me? change my whole career to come and she has to feel safe to a certain extent.
And you see most of the sacrifices that man made among many was make her signatory to his account. Of course, what other trust do you want? You want everything. That man is so wise. He's so wise.
Dr. Charles Akpoki, yeah.
I'm your friend, and the way he will laugh. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I don't mind. I'll promote him. I just posted the link to his YouTube on.
Yes, he's so wise. People need to check him out. I listen to him. Thank you so much, man of President.
Thank you, Beyond Braids. I appreciate you.
So
are you doing braids? Are you doing braids?
Yes.
Okay, and you in the United States?
Yes, I'm in Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas. Yes. Okay, all right. Are you in the backstage?
In the backstage, like
in our backstage, Prestige Family backstage.
No, I am not. If you want to add me, I wouldn't mind.
You need to. So you go to this link.
Okay.
All right. Go to this link. whatsapp.manofprestige.com. It's right there.
Okay.
On your phone, and it will take you inside the group. Okay.
I will join.
All right. Great.
All right. I'm still here.
All right. Hang out. Issa Moore. Issa Moore, talk to me.
Hello, man of Prestige.
Hey, my personal person. I know your name, but let me call you Issa Moore, okay?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. It's your first time calling into the show.
It's my first time calling into the show. That's right.
Yeah.
I joined a little bit late.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. But I've been following the conversation, so I think I still have a good knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about silent treatment in the workplace.
In the workplace, interesting.
Yes.
Do share.
The bottom line is silent treatment overall has no benefit to nobody, not the person giving it and not the person receiving it. I don't know how it works for people who do it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It speaks immaturity to me.
Yeah.
So I've experienced it in both, in my personal life, and today I'm talking about workplace.
Right.
So this friend of mine, she happens to be like a senior colleague. She's very wonderful, friendly. When I first came across her, she opened arms, received me, bought me gifts. Like every now and then at work, she would buy me presents. I'm like, wow, this woman is really nice. So I think she gained my confidence. She gained my loyalty and trust. And, I thought I had this person to look up to at work, somebody that had my back. And then one day, I would say hello, she wouldn't respond. And again, this person is a senior colleague, like she's a group lead. So this is someone we hang out together on weekends. Like she would plan movie dates, we'll go watch a movie together and all that. Then all of a sudden, she's not speaking. I say hello. Day one, she wants to say anything. Like the way she will walk past you like you are a dead person. You don't exist. It was so shocking to me, and I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, apart from, of course, my own personal life, but I've not seen that in friendship.
Well, at work, let me tell you something. People that do that at work, I have a favorite word for them, and I'm going to just let it go right now. They are bastards. Okay? I understand in an emotional setting, in the family, sometimes it's awkward. You don't get paid on Friday, but at work, silent treatment, you must be a bastard.
So, like I said, it doesn't benefit either parties. It just creates distrust. It creates unnecessary anxiety. It creates, like, every time I see her now, even though we are cordial at the moment, I can't trust her.
No, you can't trust her. Yeah, they will throw you under the bus.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the first time it happened. So I was very curious. I went to her. Is everything okay? After day one, day two, like, you're avoiding me. What's going on? And she said when she's ready to speak about it, she will let me know.
See, manipulation. Right now, you're supposed to be her therapist and just understand.
if you are ready to speak about it, you let me know. Oh, wow. And this lady I'm talking about, she's 50. She's not a baby. Like, come on now. If there's anything, open up and talk to me. I don't see myself as someone that you cannot talk to or that you
Can
talk
you see on my face that I can relate? I know them. Okay, I've gotten rid of a whole company because of that. I said, change your project manager, then call me back. F you.
So she's very good at what she does at work. She's like almost indispensable. Very wonderful. Like her work ethics, top notch. She can work two people's job, and that makes everybody tiptoe around her. And when I got to realize that it was not peculiar to me and her, like just between both of us, I knew that, okay, it's not my problem.
No, it's not too.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's their personal problem. Yep.
Right. So anyway, she said when she's ready to talk to me, she would let me know. So I waited for her. When she finally spoke up about what led to that, I was looking at her like, really? I can't even remember what led to that right now because it was so insignificant. It did not make any sense to me that because of something so, I think the music that was playing in the background, she selected the music and I said, oh, can she change it to something more
That's it?
Active so that we will not fall asleep? Because when we are walking at night,
in the car?
Music in the background.
Oh, when you were walking at night?
Yeah. We play music in the background. So the kind of music she put that night, it was making me fall asleep. So I work night shifts. So I think I just told her, can we change the music so that
you don't fall asleep?
I won't fall asleep because it sounded like a lullaby. So I think that was it.
Not the lullaby. Lullaby will put you to sleep.
Yeah. So I think that was it. And, it was something so insignificant. Something there. So I was like, is this it? Okay. Well, when we made up, I said, okay, but at this point, I was more careful with dealing with her.
I'm good.
She continued to send gifts and buy clothes. If the clothes don't fit her, she will just repackage it and say, Esther, Istanbul, I got this. It's not my size. Do you want it? I would accept.
What did she put inside of it? Why is she buying you clothes?
You didn't want. The thing that strikes me about them, they come to you with, the personality of friendliness, friendship, and all that. And then when they're ready to discard you, it's like a hot coal. They just drop you, like you don't make it. And like you said, those 10 things you mentioned as the aftermath of what it causes to the victim of the person on the receiving end of silent treatment. It's true. The confusion, like you are confused, you don't know, you can't even trust your
yourself.
You are just walking on eggshell. You don't know. Anyway, so
it's not nice. It's not nice.
I said hello to her like a couple of years, maybe a year or two later. I said hello to her. She just snubbed me like a ghost. I said, this woman again. Okay. So
she's consistent. Somebody said that lady attitude is inconsistent. Seems like no, she's consistent. Believe it.
It's a pattern. You have to just be patient enough.
Yeah.
So she snubbed me. The next day I said hello. She snubbed me again. Then that noise is too much. I said hello again. She snubbed me again. And then I said, okay, at this point, I'm just gonna let her be till whenever she's ready to talk again. So I went to a mutual friend, again, another colleague, and told her, this is what I'm observing. And that one told me, oh, well, if she doesn't want to speak to you, just give her the space she wants.
Yeah.
So at that point, I realized, okay, it's not what she's doing to just me. It's what she does to other people. If this lady is telling me, don't worry about it, just, do your work and not focus on yourself, that means she has experienced it too. Maybe she just doesn't want to share.
Right. I mean, it's not like you have a choice anyway. The other choice is to be begging her to be your friend. We don't want that, right? So you want to give me a cold shoulder? Sure. If it's something I have to work with you, I'm probably going to replace you. It's a matter of time. Because what you just said, I remember a story. And that person was also extremely competent and good at what they did. Yeah. And the company were literally kissing her ass.
Yes, that is
So
exactly where we are at right now. She can
yeah,
do two people's job. In fact, three. She can run three people's job at the same time.
right.
So it makes everybody just give her that.
It makes you vulnerable because it's a power dynamic. Now they have one up on you, and that's not a conducive environment for you to work because they can throw you under the bus. So what ends
Right.
up happening is that it's only a matter of time. They will be
Yeah, it's only
replaced because everybody is replaceable. Everybody.
Yes. And she threatens she would leave. She threatens the company she would leave. If they do this, she's going to leave. If they do that, she's going to leave. She threatens
Exactly.
that all the time. So because of that, the company, they are trying to, if she's doing two people's job, they'll tell her, no, she doesn't have to, just do your part. Don't worry about doing two people's job. So that will also get her in a place of, but I'm trying to do the best. Why are you people rejecting my best? But they don't want
Listen.
her to do two people's job anymore because she keeps throwing it in their face that, if not for her, the work will not go smoothly and all that.
Let me tell you, some of them might be listening among the 29 people that are listening to me right now. It's only a matter of time. They will collect.
Sorry, yo.
Okay, they will. It's not if, it's when. Ask Puff Daddy. There are many of them. Ask Osh Poppy. Right? They are very good. The whole world yields to them. You have to obey them so you don't get blacklisted by the rest of the world. They are the one running the blacklist. These people, they will collect.
Sorry, yo.
You just have to be patient. Also, use it as an opportunity for you to gather your own power, understanding that you have a level of vulnerability now. Use it to cook yourself. Don't give them the space, but understand that, hey, it's time to move, improve yourself, become better, But as far as them are concerned, don't worry. Okay? It will shock them. The higher they go, the harder they're going to fall.
Right. So, when the other mutual friend told me, don't worry about her, I just really kept to myself until I made a mistake one day. And instead of her to email me or talk to me about it or whatever, she emailed me and copied my supervisor.
They will escalate it before they talk to you. It's consistent. They have patterns. They will escalate the issue before they actually talk to you. They are snakes. Recognize them when you see them and walk your way around it. Okay.
Yeah.
But they'll collect.
This is a job I love so much. The flexibility works with my life as a woman. I don't want to give up my job because of one person. So I just wanted to manage how I work around her, not to give up the job because of her, right?
Yeah.
So when I saw that email, I quickly got up, went straight to my supervisor, and I told him I have to report this to you. So I told him everything. And this is not the first time it is happening. She's not talking to me. I would say hello, she wouldn't respond. So all these things she's doing is just to put me in a bad spot, put me in a bad light. So, and at that point, I was already waiting for my promotion. So I'd already talked to my supervisor about my promotion. I was due for my promotion, but it wasn't coming forth. So I said, if this woman is going to sabotage that, I'm going to have to talk about it with my supervisor and the higher management. So I talked with my supervisor, talked to the HOD, head of department. I let them know that whatever review you guys want to review about me, please don't go through her, because she would not tell you what you are, going to hear. She would tell you what is biased, because this is the current situation.
This is what's going on.
Right. So
it's only a matter of time. They'll record it. It's only a matter of time.
It wasn't only me reporting. That's not the thing.
See? Because they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to stop.
That have stopped working there because of her. They will be anxious when they are coming into work because they don't know what to expect.
They're walking on eggshells.
Yeah. So it happened, and then this time around, like I said, the second time it happened, she blocked me on Facebook too.
Really?
I don't even till this day, I don't know what happened. So when she was finally ready to reconcile, which was months later, maybe like 10 months later, One day she just said, hey,
10 months later.
Yeah. Like nothing happened. Well, everybody will talk. Everybody's laughing. She's laughing and looking in my direction. She's trying to give me high five. Like nothing happened the past 10 months.
You doing what?
So one day she sent me a Facebook request again. I said, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to accept this.
No.
Like, you deleted yourself already. Go forever. That's it. No more. So
sadly, I have people like that. They're under a handful. But I have people like that. You blocked me. You did like, it's okay. It's okay. Leave it that way.
Yeah. So she wanted to rekindle everything and take it back to where it used to be. Unfortunately, it can never be that way anymore. The trust, pardon the noise, the trust is broken. I can never put anything that is very...
Yeah. Go take care of the baby. Go take care of the baby.
Yeah. I can never entrust anything in that lady's hands. No matter, even if she's good, even up to recent times, she still gives me gifts. I just say thank you and take it. I don't, do all those gift exchange and nonsense anymore. Like trying to reciprocate her kindness. No.
Not
if you don't want to give me, I'm good. If you give me, thank you. And at this point, like even inviting me on a personal event and all that, I'm not going. Sorry, I don't have time. I can't make it. I have other plans. Because
Yoruba people.
Again,
go ahead.
Like I was saying, this thing does not, like, they think it's good because they're in a position of power to use it against you. But in the end, they are the ones that will also receive.
You will lose because it's a blind spot. It's a blind spot. You don't have that much power.
Exactly.
It's the world is carrying you like this. The world is carrying you like that. Yoruba people will stop it there, easy. Because the same people that's carrying you like that, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. Then, she trained me at work, so that put her in a position of power already. And now you want to use the power against me in this way? No, I'm not gonna give you more power. So, right now it's just pure cordial work relationship. She's not gonna get any form of trust or, positive recommendation from me in any way. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything nasty about her, but don't expect me to go all out to try to, do anything special.
I want to say thank you for bringing that up to this conversation because honestly, I didn't realize I could relate that much with silent treatment until you brought in the professional setting. Yeah. I can. It's like as you're saying it, there's an image in my head. And the image is actually a prayer point. I use their name, prayer point. God, any their name. When I wake up in the morning, literally. Because they create that level of trauma that when you smell anything that looks like it, you just want to avoid it. Because it puts you in a position where you can potentially have trust issues.
Oh, yeah.
You can't trust people because all of us, we need connection with other people. That's what makes us strive
now,
as human beings.
If I say hello to her, I just wait and check her face again. Is she saying hello back or is she not? If it's not, I keep it moving quickly.
Yeah, that's only because you're still working together. You will never say hello to that kind of person again, if not because you're still working.
Correct, yes. So everything now is just superficial. That's what I'm trying to say. So bring that to personal life. Imagine your own intimate partner is doing that to you. You're just going to be walking on eggshell. The person will be in charge for as long as the person has power over you. But once you are able to get that power back, which is, in my case, for a very long time, I was the vulnerable one because I came from Nigeria to join him. So that puts me in a position of vulnerability. I depended on him for a while. And then, so I had to be going back to beg, for things that are not worthy to beg over, that are not worthy to even have as a conflict. Like I told you, change music, can just cause.
That's it. Strife. Everybody just spiral out of control.
Yeah, the most insignificant thing, you want to use power and dominance and control over everything. So it lasted for as long as it lasted for, until when I summoned the courage and the strength to really say, okay, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Yeah. And when that point comes, you realize that that person is so powerless. They don't have no power. So at the end of the day, what good did it do for that
if we're talking about marriage now, suddenly they are now a victim.
Exactly. And God is not asleep either. He knows how to flip the coin. So if you are doing it to somebody and you think the person will continue to be vulnerable forever, no.
You're building them. You're building that person.
You are building them, yes. So all the things are accomplished. Like during the silent treatment is the phase that I see myself accomplishing the most. Like if they just give me that space, that's when I want to put in all the resume I've not put in since. And that's when I want to, so it was always propelling me for the next phase, phase. And then I finally got to where I am now. So anyone propagating silent treatment or promoting it or saying it's okay, it's a no, it's torture, it's trauma.
Don't do it. You shoot yourself on the legs.
Yes. It's not good. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. So that thing should not be condoned, and it should, like, if you are going through it, if you are suffering through it, speak up, condemn
seek
it.
Help. Seek help.
Yeah, seek help. It's not good. It just leaves you in a position of walking on eggshell. And when you are walking on eggshell with your partner, every conversation becomes superficial. You can't go deep down. There will be no growth. There will be no progress. There will be no... So there will be no progress. And then that person will be the one crying at the end of the day. I feel disconnected. I did this, I did that. Like, you propagated all these things, all the things you set as the foundation. Even when I have taken steps to overlook all those traits, to say, okay, I'm going to fight the good fight and just overlook everything. Let me trust for once. I still get, beaten at the end of the day. So it just makes me realize there's no point putting in the effort. So
so in a relationship setting, it works against the relationship. So that means both people collect.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So so people might yield because you would train the other person to silent treat you. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because now you do silent treatment to each other and nobody is moving in any direction, right? It's just like this very funky place. There's a lot of resentments that get stored in that space. It's just not a good idea. And unfortunately, I see Brother Beno says divorce is a solution. I wish it was that easy, right?
Divorce is not that easy. If when Auntie B mentioned earlier that if the person goes to a hotel, you lock the person, change the locks. It's not that easy too.
It's not that easy too. Yeah.
Especially when there are kids involved and you have a routine of one
there
person
kids
is going,
involved.
one person is coming.
The kids are let daddy in. Let daddy in.
The kids say let daddy in. That's one. Number two, you need that person to watch the kids while you are at work. Or
you
something.
need them. You need them. It's they are part of your world.
Exactly.
Everything is so into each other.
So your life is already intertwined. It's not easy to just pull the divorce card and say divorce is the solution. It's not.
Yeah.
You need that
and divorce lawyers are parasites. They will drain you of your life savings. Everything.
Right.
And well, not my life savings, my partner's life savings. Well, those are things that your kids should be looking forward to in the future too. The lawyers will drain every single dime.
Absolutely. They always work. It's always in their favor. It's never in your favor.
One of my clients the other day said, I just told them enough. No, I don't. No. Because suddenly she realized that the lawyer was actually instigating them against each other because they saw assets. Right? Well, did you check this? Did you check this? And that's draining her emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not down the streets. They are far off. You can pull them close. You can call them. But that's not something that's not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I pray that if you haven't gone through it, that you don't go through it. If you've gone through it, I pray that God will see you through.
Amen.
Because it's not as simple as basketballs between two people. It's not that simple. Yeah.
So, I mean, after so many years in my marriage, when I reflect, I see we could have progressed a whole lot more if things were a lot more cordial, if there were more conversations that were not avoided, if things were not swept under the rug. But hey,
Right.
this is
Things
what
get
I
swept
have.
under the rug. Yeah. Right.
Things get swept under
So
the
even
rug.
in that respect, you're the one that's supposed to shut down, right? You're the one. If we use that formula, that's 1 and 0 black and white formula, right? Like things get swept under the rug. You couldn't get your way. Let me just shut down so I can get the other person to listen. You're the one that's supposed to do that first, but it's actually the other person that shuts down that doesn't want to have the conversation. It's a double whammy on your end.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to go. I have to attend to my child. Thank you for
so
having me.
much. All right. Chidima, talk to me. What are your thoughts after listening to all of that? Chidima. Come back to the computer. Come back to the computer. Yes. Rush back. Uncle Beno, how far are you there? He said, period.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome, Jerry. Uncle Bello said, period. If you aren't ready to make it work, no need to be together. Happiness is golden. I agree with you. That would even be a lot more easier if we're talking about just one person being with themselves. When another human being is involved, anyway, you're still with us because everything we're talking about on these shows are easier said than done. Anyway, go ahead, Chidima. What are your thoughts after listening to that?
Yes, I mean, I found it very, very interesting that the silent treatment at the workplace pretty much mirrors the silent treatment in a romantic relationship because, like I typed, I feel it's all about power and control. The typical love bombing, and when someone can't get their way, and the uncertainty is the same way in a romantic relationship, leaving you wondering what happened, what did I do, is it me, what did I say, what caused this? That same level of uncertainty. And work is where you spend a chunk of your time in a day. Just like at home with a romantic partner is a place you spend a chunk of your time in a day. So none of those environments are healthy. Having silent treatment happen, and there can never be a justification for it. There are so many other ways.
If it's at work, it's that easy. I will get rid of you, even if seemingly you have the power.
Right. Like she trained her.
Right, like she trained you. I will get rid of you. It just me because I have power. You might not see it. I actually have power, and I'm very engaged with my power. So I will show you that power. The last time I had this encounter, the person thought they had power, and I showed them that I had power, and I'd shown them that I had power, but they didn't really get it.
Okay.
So eventually, I'm not going to tell you the details. It was business, but it was a situation where a project manager thought they had power. And I got rid of them in a way that they never expected it because they are used to everybody bowing to their will. So they never expected it, But there's a lot of people moving mad like that in professional settings too. And they don't, and I feel like it's what they do at home too. But
definitely. I was just about to say that if someone can take that to work, I have no doubt they are doing it at home. Because family is where you practice for the outside world. Literally.
And then they can get mixed in with, that person is just a no bullshit person. They mix it in with that person, and they're cookie cutter, and they move a tight ship. They run a tight business, so the business stakeholders yield to them because they like the results they create. But if everybody is complaining about you, calm down. I know you are good at what you do. If everybody is complaining about what you do, it's only a matter of time. See, that power is going to make you feel like you're doing well because it's like cocaine. It's like a drug. They are filling you with it. You will not see it when it's coming, when they pull the rug from under you. The same way, all your subordinates that you thought were subordinates, you've been getting rid of them, you've been throwing them under the bus, you're writing them up, you're escalating issues because, and everybody is happy because to them until one day, like, they will just wake up one day, they will check the Google reviews. They're like, how did this happen? Why is your name all over? What happened?
Right.
And then now the higher powers that be will now say, we're going to have to sell our shares. Imagine, let's say you own the company. It's a public company. How big can you get, right? There's no bigger than that. It's a public company. A bunch of investors have invested in your company.
Right.
But they look at a news. They're like, we're going to have to sell our shares. When a bunch of people, institutional money, starts to sell their shares, what do you think happened to your stock market?
Crashing.
It crashes. It crashes. Coconut head is not your mate in all ways. It's not something you can say, I have it, so I'm proud of it. Don't do that to yourself. No one is indispensable.
Right.
No one is indispensable.
You can't control the outcome long term.
Yes, you're feeling good now, but nothing they last forever. Nothing they last forever. Yeah, by the time you try to catch it, it's too late. I'm talking the Microsoft and the Googles. Why do you think they invite Mark Zuckerberg to the Capitol Hill to come and have fun? They are questioning him. One bad news can throw that whole thing out of radar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So how much more you that you're just a normal employee as a project manager somewhere, you're feeling heavier than thou. You feel like, it's just principles. Before they know it, it's just the policies. It's just the policies. That policy will kill you one day. You know? Anyway, let me say, D-Love says, those Beyond Brace says it's not that easy. I guess she's speaking to, even the professional setting, it's not easy to get out. Look at the job market right now, right? It's not everybody. Most people are not privileged to be able to cut something short and have options, right? So you're basically torturing these people. You're building them. You're training them. Because the day they torture you, they won't have mercy on you, because that day is coming. MOP, these people do not do that at home because they are weak at home. I had a boss years ago that was so mean. Come to find out she's going through DV at home. That's a good point, D-Love. It surprised me as she was mean and loud. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not always true that they're always. But somehow, some way, that part of them, that manipulative, controlling thing is something about them. They think they have power, but they don't have power, you know. But yeah, you're right. It's not always true that that's what it shows like at home. Chidima, give me your last word. I think we've done some good justice today. We'll continue with part 4 tomorrow.
My last word is, if people are telling you silent treatment is wrong, or that you are doing silent treatment, don't be focused on the fact of what the other person did to trigger it, or them. Work on yourself first. Work on better coping skills, on how to better communicate effectively. Yes, we know that probably it was a lack of effective communication on their part that led you to shut down. But you shutting down is or is also lack of effective communication. So 2 wrongs do not make it right.
Don't make it right.
It does not resolve anything long-term or sustainable. It just cannot. And it says more about me if I keep justifying a particular thing than the other person. Because while I'm here justifying, the other person might work on themselves and realize, I don't want to do this anymore. And they will be the one to check out and realize that's toxic for them. And they can check out.
Yeah.
So you have to resolve anything.
100%. I agree with that.
Those are my last words. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you call in tomorrow because we're continuing. We didn't finish
I'll
yet.
try. Okay.
All right. All right, later. All right. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Shout out to everybody that called in today. Shout out to Auntie B. Shout out to Jum. Shout out to Bumi. We used your voice. Shout out to Bumi. Shout out to Chidima, of course. Shout out to E. Samore. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Today we just kind of like right now where we left, we were at 50 minutes. We made it. Was it 50 minutes? We made it to 1 hour 12. It's an ongoing conversation. I think a lot of people are learning, so it's a bigger deal than what we thought it was. But more importantly, I wanted us to, let's see here. If you go away with anything today, let's just go away with this, right? To turn emotions caused by silent treatment, stonewalling, or malice keeping, as we call it in Nigeria. Confusion. When a person is in a relationship with you and they are confused, sometimes that may not be a bad thing, but it cannot be a good thing as a permanent emotion. Okay, temporarily, it depends on where you're coming from, depends on context, right? If a person is confused when in fact they've been maltreating you, that may not be a bad thing as a temporary way to, hey, let's fix something, shake it up or something, right? But as a permanent, when I say permanent, what is permanent? Well, beyond 24 hours, you're getting closer and closer and closer to permanent, right? So we don't want that type of vibe in a romantic relationship. It's not good. Frustration. You're probably frustrated. This is why you yield to such a strategy like silent treatment. Well, two wrongs is not going to make it right. It's probably going to, again, create more frustration. So if a person is frustrated, who's to tell what they're doing to fix that? Especially if you're completely disconnected, stone cold, like just went cold on them. It's not a good thing to have. Sadness. Oh, you might not realize, well, that's what I want them to feel. Are you sure? That's, your bones of your bones. Is that really what you want them to feel? Okay. Temporarily, I can see maybe it's toxic. You need to back away, back off of the situation. I get it. But beyond 24 hours, there's no telling how far the damages you are creating with that. Anxiety, not good. Same thing. Anger, self-doubt, fear, insecurity, powerlessness, isolation. Well, I didn't mean it to go that way. I just don't want confrontation. I know. But there are better ways to handle conflict. Okay? Here's what I'm going to have you walk away with from this today. Active listening. You don't, majority of you under the authority of my voice, you don't know what active listening is in practice. I know that you don't. It's easier said than done. You don't if you haven't had to actively listen in the middle of you being triggered. Like you're being triggered. You have your right to react the way you want to react to. But then Ola said he has some stupid prestige nonsense thinking and I should actively listen. What about me? That's why I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Active listening is a skill set. It's easier said than done. Listen. You don't have to respond. You're listening to understand. Okay? If it's not that difficult, you're not actively listening yet. If it's so easy for you to I'm just listening, everything is sweet and we're happy. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. Thank you for breaking that cycle, breaking that ice for me. Thank you. I haven't seen one of this in a while. $10. Huh. I never expected it. I feel so rich. I'm rich. I never expected it. Thank you. No, I have to booty clap for that. Thank you. I'll do it. All right, thank you for that. I appreciate you, Natu. So, to round this off, those are the emotions that people have to deal with. Okay, that your victim, yes, you do have a victim now that they have to deal with. If you tend to use that as a strategy, you gotta be careful with it. Now, for those of you that you find yourself in 3 months, 6 months, 8 years, you were trained to participate in the behavior. Okay? And remember, if 2 wrongs don't make it right, 3 wrongs cannot make it right. Okay? So they trained you, like you tried other means, you didn't know what you were doing too. So you just, because now they're not talking to us for how long, we don't know. Let's just go and hide in our own corner too. That's not the solution. If you don't know what the solutions are, or you've tried active listening and it's not working for you, seek help. You need support. Okay, you need help. There's a good chance you've lost yourself because you've been on the receiving end of all this type of emotions. It's just a bad idea, right? So don't just sit in there and say, I can live with it, I'm living with it. No, you're probably training your kids bad ways to engage in a relationship because somebody else has trained you. You know, hurt people. Somebody else has trained you. Now you're sowing that seed, or now you're normalizing. Like, I don't see anything wrong. Leave them to their space if they don't want to. No, you're normalizing it. Don't do it. Don't participate in it. Seek help if you don't know how to get out of it. Okay? Seek help. Seek help. If that person is a human being, a typical human being, somebody that fell in love with you once upon a time, they've actually had a time that they treated you well, they've had a time that you can think about and it made you smile, then it can be fixed. It's a bad behavior. It can be unlearned. And then when they're unlearning it, it has to be replaced with tools to help them cope. We are exactly at 2 hours and 30 minutes. We're going to end it right there. Thank you so much, Natu. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I will see you on the next one. Peace. We offer evidence-based relationship and marriage resources and coaching to help you navigate the difficult times.
Don't just wing it. Learn the principles that work.
Download our 2 free books and book your complimentary coaching session now at manofprestige.com.